I'm leaving Udemy. Well, I haven't decided yet, actually, but that is it. That is the title of this video, which is gonna be it's gonna be definitely one of my most challenging videos to make. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I'm still currently an instructor on Udemy, so it's a little bit of a conflict of an interest for me to say everything that I want to say. So it's going to be a little bit difficult for me, but in the same token, I'm an honest guy, and I'm not gonna. I don't want to mince words. I want to say exactly what I'm feeling. I think the instructors on Udemy will understand what I'm talking about, and for the rest of the people, I can't really go into too many details. But to begin, let's give you some context. Wow. So I kind of had a little bit of a conflict with someone. I won't say who it is. It could be another instructor. It could be management at Udemy. But there was a little bit of a disagreement. And as a result of the disagreement, I ended up getting threatened. And I felt that I was being bullied. Now, you instructors probably saw all of this, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. When I first discovered Udemy, I started doing some research right away. I always do my homework before I invest into something. And some of the things that I saw initially got me excited because I've been doing training videos for quite some time, and I've been doing really well with them, but I'd never really done it commercially. And I got the impression that Udemy was an excellent platform that combined that with the kind of feedback that I've been getting from thousands of people for years now. And I said, wow, this could be awesome. I mean, I never really looked at teaching, and I never will want to do teaching necessarily as a career. I never looked at it that way. It was never about the money. I started doing it before there was no money to be made at all. Now, I make what I call tips. I mean, it's not enough to pay a cable bill even, right? So luckily I don't have cable. But I never looked at it as a money thing. I looked at it as I wanted to help others. My whole thing with teaching started, I mean, my parents were teachers, but I'm self-taught. So I had to learn a lot of things on my own, buying the books and online before there was e-learning. And some of the stuff was difficult. I was studying some very high-end, very technical things, and some of it was difficult. And I looked at the material that was out there, and I said, there's got to be a better way to do this. Like, there's many things that it's like round and round and round and round and round, and then they haven't even told you what they're talking about. Like, start with what you're talking about before you get into all kinds of background and history and all that kind of stuff. And just many things that I saw that made it difficult for me to learn. And I said, there's got to be a better way. And why should the next person have to struggle the way I did? So I struggled. I learned what I was studying, and I sat down and I thought through, what's a simpler way to explain this? What's a nice analogy to use? And I created some of my first videos, and that's what started it all. I started getting a lot of views tremendous feedback. I noticed one of the things, like, I would have tons of likes and no dislikes, which is unusual on YouTube. YouTube is very, very aggressive, can be very nasty. So if you're getting any good number of views, you can expect you're gonna get some dislikes. But to have thousands and thousands of views and no dislikes, that usually says a lot. And then the comments and things like that, I was like, wow, okay. So as I would learn things in the future, I would add a video explaining some of the parts that were difficult for me to learn. Eventually, YouTube introduced this partner program, and I was like, all right, cool. I can make some money for my efforts, right? Because I'm spending my time, I'm using my equipment here. So this would be cool. Make a little money, right? And then, money started coming in, but it was really not much because I was only doing videos every once in a while. If you guys who have taken my YouTube course, you know why that was. I mean, in my course, I share a lot of what I learned. So a lot of what I'm talking about is before I figured certain things out, like the consistency thing. You can't really be uploading videos once a month. You can't let 3 months go by, 6 months. I think it was an entire year I didn't upload anything. You can't do that. But in spite of that all, the channel still has over 6,000 subscribers. I have the top ranked database video right now, 305,000 views. So that says a lot. So if I may have made a wrong decision. If I had really focused on that channel, I think that channel would be really, really huge by now. But I looked at Udemy as like, all right, here's the place where I can finally go all out. And why I can do that is because I can justify the time because of the money I can make. So I started doing my research, and because what I saw initially, I looked at some of the courses, some of the top instructors, and I looked at the potential earnings that they had, and my mind was blown. I was like, this can't be real. There's no way. How is this possible? This is just mind-blowing. I'm just like, wow. So I try to figure out what I could be missing. Like, what could I be missing here? Why this looks better than it possibly is. And eventually I started to figure some things out, and the perceived earnings started to drop and drop and drop and drop and drop. But still, as far as it dropped, it was still a lot of money. And I was like, wow. I wasn't looking to make a ton of money, but that's awesome too. That's awesome too. I looked at it as, I said, this could maybe be a retirement thing for me. You can't really rely on Social Security and stuff like that. So I said, maybe this could be a retirement thing. This could be something where long term I could step away from corporate America and take care of myself using my courses. I could build up a whole thing. But I was still pessimistic. I'm a very analytical person, and you're not really gonna be able to get one by me very easily. So I started figuring out. Well, I started doing some research, and I saw some reviews of the website, and then I started seeing some of the negative things people were saying, and I said, okay. But with the research that I've done on my own, speaking to instructors, making my own assessments, and the understanding that, of course, no platform is perfect. Look at me. I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and YouTube is certainly not perfect. YouTube has so many problems going on right now. It's ridiculous between YouTube and Google. So with that in mind, I assessed that it was worth the risk. But I did see there were some risks. I did see that there were definitely some growing pains going on. And so I went forward with that in mind, and one of the things I did to address that is I decided to build my course rather than going all out and just making this really, really awesome course that I know I can do. I decided to be very, very straight to the point, a bare bones approach. So the idea is to create a course that delivers just what is needed to basically deliver on, what the student is looking for. So if I'm going to teach you how to do an engine overhaul, I'm going to make sure my course delivers on that promise. However, those little extra touches that can make such a difference, I'm going to leave that off until I kind of test the market. So that's the kind of phase that I'm in right now. I'm testing the market, seeing whether it's a good decision for me to invest a lot of time and money into the courses. So far, I'm not really impressed, but I still think there's a lot of potential there. I think one of the things that I need to really figure out is my marketing. And I had some great ideas, and I was about to execute on those ideas. And I think if my hunches are correct, I could have had an explosive result. So the impression I get is that I can do very well on Udemy, but a lot of it's in my hands, at least in the beginning. In the end, maybe a different story, but in the beginning, it's definitely in my hand. That basically what Udemy provides to me is the platform and the money back guarantee. I mean, they're handling all the money, all that stuff I don't have to worry about. I can just collect money, do my courses, collect money. Of course, I'm working with the students as well, answering questions and things like that, trying to deliver the best possible customer service I can for my students. But a lot of stuff Udemy is handling in terms of the infrastructure and the financing, or what do you want to call it, accounting. So that's basically the situation. And recently, because of what's been going on, which I can't go into too much detail, but the bottom line is I'll focus on, rather than talking about other people, I'll focus about me. I'll talk about me. I feel very, very underappreciated. I feel extremely frustrated with some of the things that have transpired. Do not feel valued. I feel very valued by my students. My students definitely value me. I've gotten great feedback, some awesome ratings. I've gotten private messages from my students that have just been phenomenal, which that's kind of what I've been getting previously, but it's kind of extra special to hear it now, because now these are paying students. People are paying me money for what I'm delivering, my training, and still getting these great comments. So that's awesome. But outside of the course and my students, there's a lot of problems going on. And one of the big issues that happened recently was the change to the review system. The review system has definitely needed some work, and there was an attempt made to make it better, which I applaud. They definitely need to improve it, but based on what I'm seeing, I'm very, very concerned. I was concerned before they implemented it, because I knew the risks of what could happen with them changing it and messing it up potentially. And then once I learned more about it and they were about to implement it or shortly after they implemented it, I was like, okay, wow, this is scary what they're doing here. Basically, the situation right now is, as an instructor, I feel extremely vulnerable to malicious ratings. And also I feel extremely vulnerable to you're not going to satisfy everyone, right? But the way it's set up right now, all it takes is a couple of unhappy customers, and that could be very, very devastating. The way the system is set up right now, we're just not getting enough reviews, and the way that the reviews are being asked early in the course and stuff like that, it's very, very dangerous. And the thing about it is, a funny thing is, I know some of the big courses and popular courses, they don't seem to be faring much better, because in terms of the frequency of reviews, I saw a big course with like 2 reviews in the last day. So if they're getting 2 reviews in the last day, what hope do we have as small channels? I got a 15-minute limit on this video, so I'm gonna have to do a part 2 on this, guys. Sorry about that. Part 2, link in the description.